Yeah, unless they're chained up somewhere. But they were chained up before in the room that we were just in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the very least, the same fate hasn't befallen them. Exactly the same fate. Huh? Looks like they aren't back yet.
Perhaps they went to look for us.
Oh man, now we've got to go look for them.
How much time until the white doors open?
50 minutes.
Then I don't think we really need to hurry yet. Why don't we wait a little longer?
Doesn't sound like a lot of time to me.
For all we know, they're on their way back right now.
Kay and I nodded. Well, how long is it going
way,
to take to do a full search?
There was something I wanted to ask you guys about.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Quark's bracelet. When we found him in the pod, he wasn't wearing it. Why?
How should I know?
Presumably, it had been taken off before we found him.
So we have no idea where it is.
Pretty much.
I see. That's not good. Without that bracelet, we won't be able to continue the game.
What?
We need 3 bracelets to open the secondary door. If we lose one...
Oh no. We wouldn't be able to go through the secondary door.
Yeah.
Who would be pairing up with Quark?
Quark's bracelet should be a red solo. That would mean he'd be with the cyan pair.
Who's the cyan pair? Wasn't that... Oh no,
Oh, yeah, I think it might be them, actually.
Alice and Luna?
Clover and Tenmyoji.
only Clover and... Okay.
The 2 people who are missing.
Quark's bracelet is gone, and his 2 teammates have disappeared.
Okay.
But what's going on? Does that mean Clover and Tenmyoji took off the bracelet? Or took the bracelet?
Well, if they found Quark before you did, yeah, there's a good chance they did.
Then why aren't they back yet?
Perhaps they've already gone through the white door.
What? No, that's not possible. The primary doors haven't even opened yet.
Perhaps someone opened one of them.
How?
I don't know, but it's happened before. Remember the 3 doors on the other side of the green door? Someone made one of them open. Perhaps this is the same thing.
Maybe Tenmyoji has access? But that's against the rules.
Yes, I know. But if the person opening the doors is Zero Senior, do you really think the rules matter? Zero Senior controls the entire game.
So are you saying Clover or Tenmyoji is Zero Senior?
It is a possibility. It would explain why they still haven't shown up.
Could they really have taken Quark's bracelet and gone through one of the white doors?
If they did, we won't know where they went until the doors open for the rest of us.
So I would assume.
Even then, we wouldn't know. Because we'd have to go through the right door, or else they could leave while we're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
This is still all just speculation, though. Maybe we should go look for them again. One of us can stay behind, so that we don't miss them if they come back.
Okay. I'll stay.
Sigma and I will go see if we can find them then.
Make sure you get back 5 minutes before the door opens, all right? Oh, and don't forget to bring Dio with you.
Of course. How about we just bring Dio's bracelet with us? I feel like we could just chop off the end of his arm and then leave him in the treatment pod.
That would pretty likely kill him, though, without medical treatment, though, and we don't want to really murder people.
I assume, we'd, do our best effort to, cauterize and bandage the wound. This is the pantry.
So it would appear.
Well, it looks like they're not here.
When we started looking for Quark, they were sent off to search everything beyond the red door, which would have meant this room.
Not going to do us any good to hang around here, though. Let's head upstairs.
Very well.
I spend so much time on all these animations for moving from place to place and opening doors.
Yeah. It's nice to have your first playthrough or 2, or maybe even 3, but after that, it's just sort of the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm. No one here either, huh? Tenmyoji loves scotch so much, I thought we might find him here drinking some. It was around that time that I noticed Kay was acting strangely. He was staring at the shelf of alcohol in a way that I probably would have described as blankly if I could actually have seen his eyes. Hey, what's up? You want a drink?
Oh, no. Well, I would enjoy a drink, but this mask...
Right. Sorry, that sucks. Honestly, I'd gotten so used to the suit, I'd kind of forgotten you were wearing it. Why the heck did they make you wear that thing anyway? You still don't remember anything.
Well, actually, I did remember a little.
Really?
Yes,
What did you remember?
my father.
When Dad, you remember that?
I think
Did
it's
it
supposed
just
to be
pop
did,
out of...
but that's an oddly specific typo.
Is that- It makes me wonder if that was supposed to be a pun.
Yeah, like the
is
cat
Sigma...
pun.
Yeah, is Sigma joking? Has he just gone so long without talking about a cat that he's now reaching? When Dad, you remember that? Did it just pop out of nowhere?
Please, don't joke. This is serious.
Sorry. So, you remembered who your father was?
Oh,
Yes.
it was joking then.
Mm-hmm. What about your mom?
I don't seem to have one.
Oh. So your dad raised you?
Well,
Kay stopped for a moment, then calmly folded his hands in front of him.
I was raised in the facility where my father worked.
Oh, God.
He was the only
Maybe
person who
with
worked
the
there. Which
Zero
meant he
like
was the only
rabbit.
person I saw until I was
Yeah.
older.
I'm guessing this is the facility he was raised in, maybe? Is Kay's father Zero?
Maybe.
That had been the situation for as long as I could remember, though, so I never thought it odd.
That would
And is
imply
Kay
someone.
actually...
That would imply someone here that would be his father too.
Temioji?
Maybe. I
And
guess.
also, I'm wondering if Kay really is a robot.
Mhm,
Like, if his father is actually his maker.
mhm.
He wouldn't allow me to go near him.
This is technically
part's just
Kay,
not
but it's
voiced?
very long.
He wouldn't allow me to go near him while he was working, but the only times he wasn't working were the times when he was sleeping. As such, the only communication I had was with the education software he'd given me.
Inside
I
my head.
suppose I was... Yeah. I suppose I was a fairly expressionless child then. We developed body language to communicate with others, and with no one else to communicate with, I suppose it makes sense. Once I learned to read and write, I began to... on my hard drive. I began to realize that my situation was not normal. Many of my books mentioned a mother as part of a family, and in several, the mother, father, and children would eat meals together and talk to one another. Soon I found myself longing for a mother of my own. Someone who would always be with me, who would scold me if I did something wrong. At night, they would read to me before bedtime. If only I had a mother like that, I thought, I would be so happy. So,
yes,
for the
my
first
dad
time
to
in my
adopt
life...
a mother.
So, for the first time in my life, I asked my father something. He had finished working and, as usual, was making his way toward his bedroom when I stopped him and asked for a mother. He looked at me silently for a long moment, before finally responding, "Okay." I remember to this day how happy I was at that moment. A few months later, he called me into his laboratory. It was the first time he'd ever done anything like that. My heart was beating quickly as I stepped inside. Standing next to him was a young woman, and my hopes soared. But when he said her name, or rather, her ID number, they were dashed. He had given me a robot to play the part of a mother. I didn't want a mother that was just a machine who did what a human told her to. When I told my father that, he looked surprised for the first time in my life. Then he frowned, coughed, and admonished me for being a whiner. He'd never scolded me for anything before. At first, I was surprised, then angry. Hot tears streamed down my face. My father ordered the robot to take care of me and shooed us out of his lab. The robot was very convincing, and she smiled and spoke as if she were a real person, but I refused to answer her and locked myself in my room. You can talk to a robot and it will respond, but in the end you're still talking to a machine, not a person.
I wonder if that robot is one of the women that's in this game.
Possibly. If that was what I'd wanted, I still had the education software my father had given me. When I ignored the robot as it tried to take care of me, it looked sad. It couldn't really be sad, of course. It was only programmed to look that way. A robot's facade of sadness didn't mean anything to me. This will be so ironic if he really is a robot.
Yeah.
After that, I
was sad that my robot mom was sad. I was sad that my father would make a robot that would seem sad.
After that, I stopped expecting anything from my father. We'd never really spoken to begin with, so it was easy enough for me to make sure we never saw one another. I lived my life as if he didn't even exist. Perhaps it seems strange to you that I continued to live with him, but I never considered leaving. Perhaps in the hidden depths of my heart, I longed for a relationship with my father. Everything changed when I was 18. I left my room one morning to find a woman standing outside of it. She was the first human I'd ever seen, apart from my father, and I was understandably surprised. For a moment, I thought my father had created a new robot, but when I told her that, she laughed and explained that she had come to help him. As it turned out, she was a very mysterious person. She was much older than I was, but something about the way she behaved was almost girlish. She would tell me stories about the world outside in such a way that I was never sure if she was telling the truth or making up fantastic lies. Ultimately, though, the truth didn't matter. I loved her stories. She wasn't helping my father directly with his research, so I spent most of my days with her. Before long, I discovered she'd known my father when he was young. She told me stories of how he'd fallen in love as a younger man, and I began to imagine that the person he'd fallen in love with had been her, and that she was, in fact, secretly my mother. After she settled in with us, our long-established routine began to change drastically. Hang on a minute. This background is the lounge. This is the corner of the lounge.
Yeah, the
so he did grow up in this facility.
Identical.
First, we started to eat together. Before then, I had never shared a meal with anyone in 18 years. She scolded me for my table manners, or more accurately, the lack thereof. If I was going to eat with others, she said, I would need to be more polite.
It is possible, though, considering they keep having him in that, robot suit, that they're just using things that the player would recognize.
Yeah, I mean, it is also a little bit far-fetched to believe that Baby K was running around in a Baby K-sized suit.
Yeah.
If I was going to eat with others, she said, I would need to be more polite. Having eaten alone for my entire life, manners had never been something I'd even thought about. It's possible here also that what they're doing is they're reusing concept art for the game. It's like, this is our concept for the lounge corner. My father got in trouble too, when he made the mistake of reading through research papers during dinner. The look of surprise and embarrassment on his face made me burst into laughter. I couldn't remember the last time I'd shared a laugh with my father. It might have been the first time. The room we considered our living room changed too. Before, it had just been another room, but she made it comfortable. After we finished our dinner, I would sit on the sofa and relax with her and my father. Those times were the ones I cherished the most. For a little while every day, I got the family I'd longed for ever since I was a child. At her suggestion, I started to help with my father's research. He specialized in genetic engineering, and I discovered I had an interest in it as well. Time faded away as I lost myself in research. You know, it just occurred to me that at this point, Kay has remembered an awful lot.
Yeah.
Like, he said he remembered a little, but good God, this is going on.
Yeah, he remembered his entire life.
Exactly.
And that was just a little to him.
Now let me tell you about the thesis I was working on for my PhD.
Yeah.
Now that we were working and studying together, my father and I had a great deal to talk about.
It was actually the same one that you're currently working on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually created that degree program before you. For the first time in my life, we began to speak with one another like father and son. Whenever I impressed him with something I'd learned, I felt a surge of happiness, and it drove me to study even harder. My days felt full, bright, and meaningful, but most importantly, I was happy. Oh! Is that his mother? Is the dead woman his mother?
Well,
Or the
it
whatever?
could be something like the lounge, but it does definitely look a lot like the old woman.
But then who's this on the right? We haven't seen this person.
Yeah.
4 years passed in the blink of an eye, until one day I happened to overhear my father and the woman speaking in the laboratory. Their tone was serious, so I listened closer, curious to know what they were talking about. That was when I heard her say that she planned to give her life to achieve their goals. It was clear that she wasn't being metaphorical. She would have to die. I was in shock. The research I had thrown myself into would lead to her death. I asked my father to stop his research immediately. He refused to listen. She agreed with him. She told me that she had been prepared for what she had to do since the day she came to our facility. My father had known about it from the beginning as well. Angry and disappointed, I began to investigate what exactly the research I'd been helping with was working toward. Perhaps, I thought, I could figure out a way to keep her alive. I discovered much more than I bargained for. To begin with, I learned that the ultimate success of my father's research would require a good deal of sacrifice. And I also learned that my own existence was just another part of his project. I had been created to function as my father's spare. If he died during his research, I was intended to continue it in his place. I was stunned. So, K is the real Zero Jr.
Yeah.
I was furious with my father.
Yeah, he is Zero Jr., but like parentally.
Mm-hmm. So the AI was created because K just left, and so they're like, well, crap, what do we do now? K's not going to cooperate. Now we build an AI bunny rabbit.
Yeah, it looks exactly like his stuffed rabbit from his robot child years.
Yeah. I was furious with my father, and with her, and even with the research I'd poured myself into for 4 years. There was only one thing to do: destroy the facility and end my father's horrible research once and for all. So Kay planted the bombs! I made plans to destroy the main reactor, and with it, the entire facility.
That sounds a lot like the bombs.
Yeah. But she saw right through me. My father was livid, and locked me in my room until his research was complete, which is why I called a circus and got a Dio to do it for me. All I could think of was how I might stop him.
If there was a ringleader I could use, I would use any ringleader I could get. Even a circus one.
She did her best to convince me that I'd misunderstood, that everything would be fine. As much as I wanted to believe her, I remembered in the back of my mind that she had been the one who pushed me to become involved in my father's research. Had that been an earnest desire to give me something to do with my life? Or... Still, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. She had given me a reason to live. Even if she had conspired with my father to mold me into his replacement, the warmth she'd shown had been real. She'd made me feel as if I had a real family, and that was something I wouldn't have given up for the world. I pleaded with her to leave, but she quietly shook her head. There was someone very special to her, she told me. He had saved her life once, and she felt her death would help repay the favor. She would have liked nothing more than to marry him and live a happy, normal life together. But she couldn't. For his sake, she said, and for the sake of our future she had wanted, of the future she had wanted. She was determined to see my father's research succeed. I realized then that although she was the most important person in my life, there was someone more important than me in hers. She tried to explain that beyond what we could see was a future where no one would have to die, but I refused to listen. What good was a potential future to me? It was what I had now that I wanted. I couldn't stand to think that she would give her life for a man I'd never even seen. So I shut myself off from the world. Perhaps that is why I lost my memory.
Powering off.
Kay let out a deep, tired sigh.
I'm sorry. I lost track of time.
It's okay.
Not having any memories is less than desirable, but it could be argued that regaining them is almost more taxing.
So is having to voice the unvoiced voice lines, which is also undesirable.
That's why I warned you beforehand.
Yeah. So you remember almost everything?
No, the details are still indistinct.
So does that mean he doesn't remember the identities? He doesn't remember their faces?
Yeah, I guess.
Especially more recent events.
Huh?
Sigma, I'm sorry, but would it be alright if I laid down for a bit?
What's wrong?
I don't feel very well.
His battery's running out.
It must be because I remembered so much so quickly. My head feels like it's going to explode.
Are you okay?
Yes. I think I just need to rest.
Okay. Take as long as you need. I'll go look for Clover and Temyoji myself.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Kay lowered himself heavily onto the red sofa in the corner of the room. Well, guess I'd better get moving then.
Seeing that is such like a ridiculous image to me. Just like a robot.
Just lying down.
Robot in like a toga, like lying down on a modern sofa.
I stepped out of the room and nearly ran into Phi. Oh. What are you doing? You're supposed to be waiting back at the warehouse.
Yeah, I know. I just decided to go check on you guys. I waited a long time and nobody showed up. Judging by your face, you haven't found them either.
No, we were distracted by Kay's life story.
Yeah,
Damn.
Literal life story.
Yeah.
Where's Kay?
He's in the lounge.
You decided to split up?
Well, not quite. Instead of waiting for my answer, she opened the door to the lounge and walked in. And so now we have to get the door animation to go back.
What's up with him?
I guess he's not feeling too well. He said he wanted to rest for a bit.
Is he alright?
I think so. We should leave him alone right now, though. Remember, there's a real person inside that suit. I'm sure he's just tired.
Tired, huh? How are you feeling?
I did notice a detail with that image, but I want to keep it secret for reasons.
With the image with Kay?
Yeah.
Oh, now I wish I could go back and take a closer look at it. Dang it.
Yeah.
What?
I feel tired just looking at you. Your face is like a week-old sock.
Really? Well, I guess I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little exhausted. I mean, all of a sudden I wake up trapped in some weird-ass game, and then dead bodies start turning up. Honestly, I'm amazed I've managed to hold on to my sanity for this long. Just about everything here makes absolutely zero sense. The more I try and figure any of it out, the more I feel like my brain's just going to melt and run out my ears. You know what I'm talking about, right? We managed to figure out who the killer was, but there's still 100 other questions we have no idea about. Where the hell are we? Why are we even here? What's this whole nonary game thing for? And what is Zero Senior up to? Hell, how about who Zero Senior is? Did I read that right?
I think so.
How about
What is he up to and who is he?
Yeah. I think for a minute I blanked and was like, did I just read how the hell Zero Senior is?
Yeah, how
the hell is he doing? How's he putting up with this? Is he tired yet? The rabbit said he was one of us, but... Do you think it's Dio?
Who knows?
Besides, we still don't know why Dio killed them. He said he was ordered to do it, but... And there's more, too. What about the old lady? Who is she? What's her deal? Hell, what are any of our deals? I don't know jack shit about anybody here. I don't know anything about you, Fi.
Are you serious? You can't honestly suspect me, can you?
No, that's not it.
I'm just like you. I was kidnapped on December 25th and brought here too.
She trailed off.
She's the only person that we know of that was also kidnapped the same day. It's interesting.
True. Also, was that a gunshot?
I doubt there was a gun in this, but...
You heard that, right?
Yeah. It came from the hallway.
Let's go have a look. Well, I mean, it was 2 loud bangs that came from, like, down the hall and managed... They had to be quite loud to penetrate through all this steel and concrete. Maybe they got on the elevator.
Let's try hitting the button. If the door doesn't open immediately, then we'll know the elevator's downstairs.
Okay, so... They did go down? Or... They couldn't...
It means either the
Thought
person
so.
is...
already went down,
Yep.
or
Or
hasn't
they're
gone
stuck
through the
up
elevator. Let's go. I guess it depends what kind of time frame there is. And where the elevator... I guess
Yeah, it's hard to say, really.
the elevator was downstairs, or was upstairs to begin with, so for it to have gone downstairs, somebody that wasn't us had to take it down.
Oh, yeah.
Because if the last person to take the elevator was Fi, it should still be up.
Mm-hmm.
Which way? Where do you think they went?
Let's just head for the green door.
Why?
Because the treatment center's there. That's where Dio and Quark are.
So?
You aren't worried? I just want to make sure they're safe.
They're fine. Temioji or Clover probably made that noise. Well, maybe both of them. But I don't think they'd hurt Quark or Dio.
Are you sure?
Huh?
Dio admitted to killing the old woman, but he still insists that he didn't kill Alice or Luna. What if he's telling the truth?
Are you serious? You're gonna believe him?
Doesn't matter. I just want to know if they're safe. No harm in being careful.
Alright, fine. You gotta start somewhere, so why argue? If she has any reason to believe the green door, go with it. And I think her reasoning is quite sound as well, so...
Yeah.
We headed to the first pod. I cracked open the top and lifted it back.
That's Quark's pod, because it was closed, not locked.
There was Quark, sound asleep. See?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I was probably getting worried for nothing.
Double check Dio's pod is still locked.
Yeah, you shouldn't say that before you open both
How
pods.
about Dio?
Or maybe all 3.
Do we want to open Dio's?
But yeah.
Let's open his.
That might be a bad idea, actually, but...
Yeah, we might be letting him out.
We do have to let him out sometime.
I guess Sigma and Phi together can probably wrestle him back in, but... Especially because he'll be fighting from a down position to begin with, so he's mechanically disadvantaged.
Yeah.
It's important to note that know whether he is still in there. Okay, so somebody came and killed him. What the hell?
Check his pulse!
It was pointless to check his pulse. He was obviously dead, but I did it anyway.
And he was alive.
Yeah.
Nope.
He's dead.
Look,
We didn't even have to open the pod to find this out, or is this on the inside that it says this?
I
If it's
don't
on
know.
the inside, this is a useless display.
Yeah.
the oxygen level for his pod says 0%.
Then that means he asphyxiated. But why?
Someone must have tampered with the pod and lowered the oxygen levels.
Who?
Look, you should go tell Kay about this.
Check the other
Come on.
pod as well?
Let's go!
Well,
You made a
there
good point
wouldn't-
about that.
We wouldn't really have a reason to expect someone in the third pod, though I guess it could be Clover or Tenmyoji in there.
At this point, it seems like with people being hidden in pods, it only takes a second. It's a good idea to be thorough, right?
Yeah.
Without waiting for me to follow, Phi turned and ran off. No, stick together! I took a deep breath and followed. Splitting up is the last thing you want to do. Phi and I burst into the lounge and ran up to Kay. So is Kay still messed up? Is there still something you noticed?
I'm not actually sure if the thing I noticed is there or not anymore.
Because I don't see anything odd, apart from the fact that there's a weird green tint. I guess that's just the lighting in the lounge.
If you didn't notice the first time, it wouldn't be something you would notice this time, I'll say that much.
Kay, wake up! Is he dead? He's been poisoned? Something's happened! When he didn't move, I grabbed him by the shoulders and shook. He twitched and quickly sat up. Oh no, he was asleep.
What is it?
We explained about how we'd found Dio dead, and how it looked like he'd died of asphyxiation. It appeared that someone had reduced the oxygen level of his pod to 0.
What? But why? I thought that Dio was the one who killed the old woman, Alice, and Luna. Then who killed him, if he was the murderer?
Anyone who wanted to be safe? The only people who could have done it are Clover and Tenmyoji.
There's also Quark.
What? No! That's impossible! Are you suggesting Quark woke up, opened his pod from the inside, killed Dio, and then went back to sleep? Yeah, I mean, you left it open so he could do that.
No, I'm just saying that strictly speaking, it's a possibility. So just, take it into consideration.
Well, in that case, Phi, I hate to say it, but doesn't that mean that you could have done it?
I feel like that conversation is really similar to something you had a conversation with Phi about, Quark. Forget when.
You mean the conversation where we talked about maybe he buried an axe in Kay's back and then pinned Dio to the wall with a spear?
That might have been it, but
Me?
Yes. You could have done it any time after Sigma and I left the Floor B warehouse.
Don't give me that. I was waiting for Clover and Tenmyoji to show up. They never did, though, so I got impatient and went to find you guys.
So she has no alibi. So it's either us working together, or it's her, or it's Quark, or it's either Tenmyoji or Clover. So basically anybody could have done it.
yeah.
Except that if it was either us or Kay, we'd have to be in on it together.
Yeah.
Then I bumped
Unless
into Sigma in front of the
Kay
lounge.
somehow did something really strange, but
I suppose if Kay, maybe Kay could have done something behind our back
he
that
would
was subtle, like,
it would have been really hard to do, like, with his... We saw him in the suit, like, right before we left, so he would... It is a bit complicated if you wanted to get there.
Then I bumped into Sigma in front of the lounge, right? She went on to explain about the sound we'd heard.
I see. So you heard something. Then perhaps it is likely that Clover and Tenmyoji were at fault.
Were the two of you together the whole time you were investigating?
Yes, we were.
You never split up or anything?
Nope.
In any event, we don't have a great deal of time to discuss it.
Oh crap. We've only got 7 minutes until the primary doors open.
All right, let's get back to the Floor B warehouse. Maybe Clover and Tenmyoji are already there.
Oh, Where is Dio's bracelet?
His what?
Huh?
You didn't take it? Dio was a green solo. Phi and I are the magenta pair.
Shit. You're right. Without Dio's bracelet, we won't be able to open the secondary door.
I fear not.
Then we need to hurry. We'll drop by the treatment center on the way back and grab the bracelet.
All three of us don't need to go. You two go on ahead. I'll get the bracelet.
All right.
Oh, one other thing. I need to give you these.
The yellow pair bracelets. Were these Alice and Luna's?
Yes. Without these, you would be stuck. So, here you are. Please, take them.
I grabbed the bracelets and shoved them into my pocket. So
right,
we'll be
let's
doing
get
the
going.
next room alone then, I guess.
Yeah, if we even get in that room, because I guess there's no reason that we wouldn't go in the door.
Yeah, we should be set.
Yeah.
Unless we just, like, stay to die because Phi gets stuck or something and we're not going to leave her.
Hmm.
Shit! They're not here!
Maybe they did go through the door, like Kay said.
With Quark's bracelet?
Or
what? Oh, come on, man. You better not give me that maybe they're already dead crap. I get enough of that from Dio.
No, you'll get much more of it from Dio.
Yeah. You gotta be kidding me. This isn't funny, Vi. If you're right, then you, Kay, Quark, and I are the only people still alive in here.
hey, lay off. I want to believe they're alive too.
And Quark might not be alive for much longer if Kay kills him.
But
We heard a noise and turned.
Yeah. It's a bit odd that specifically Dio was killed, but like Quark was in the same exact position.
I apologize for keeping you.
Besides
Did you
the
get
lock,
Dio's
obviously.
bracelet?
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, yes, but...
Huh?
Best you just see it. This is what I found in Dio's pod.
What?
What the hell?
I assume whoever murdered Dio did this.
But why? There's no point.
I can't say for sure, but if I were to guess...
So they've just killed Phi and Kay by doing that.
Yeah.
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
With a bracelet like this, I doubt we can get past the secondary door.
Also, by leaving Quark behind, haven't they basically just, like, committed Quark to death now? Oh no, his bracelet's off.
Yeah, his bracelet's off.
So he's fine whatever happens. Okay.
That means Kay and I will...
Oh no. Shit! You're gonna...
When the time comes, those 3 doors will automatically close. If anyone is left outside after they close, they'll be penalized.
I see. That's what they wanted. Whoever killed Dio wanted to use the game to kill me and Kay. That's why they broke the bracelet.
I think so. It makes the most sense.
How can you be so calm? In 5 minutes you're gonna be... beat.
Go on ahead, Sigma. You have those bracelets Kay gave you, right? You should be able to get through the secondary door with those. So just...
Screw that! You know I can't just ditch you guys like that.
But if you stay here, you'll...
You think I don't know that? But what kind of monster am I if I just leave you here to die? Ugh! God damn it! This was bad. What was I going to do? I needed to calm down. Just calm down. Calm down and think. There had to be a way to save them. There had... To be continued. Oh. That's interesting. So maybe there is a way to save them, but we just don't know how to do it yet.
Maybe, yeah.
One would
I
hope.
think if you zoom in on it, you'll actually see, like, a question in each of the to be continueds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oops. Not that one. How can Phi and Kay be saved? Yeah. And then we still haven't unlocked any of... Wait,
Yeah.
Why is this path locked? Oh, because we need the 2 codes.
Yeah, it's
this
the only
path.
one you could theoretically guess.
Yeah. This one, there isn't enough antiviral medication.
Yep.
So I guess that one's more of a statement than a question, but
Yeah, but
who planted the bomb? Who planted the bomb?
Yep.
All right. So that leaves us with... We'd have to go all the way back to the... Oh, well, I guess not to the very first
you
decision.
can
but we
betray
have to go-
Luna or go with Tenmyoji.
Yeah, so I think for the sake of finishing off lines thoroughly, we'll go back and investigate betraying Luna next,
Mm-hmm.
which will take us down this 3rd fork. And if that doesn't unlock anything, then the only thing that'll be left after that is to finally go down Tenmyoji's path, which will be the final, like, major branch to explore in the game.
I was gonna say it'll be the last time we'll see Zero the Third, but actually, like, he shows up after the first ally in Betray, so we've still got some time with him.
So we'll go back and we will betray Luna next time and kind of start working down that heavily betrayed route. And I guess that gets us down only one path. Oh, so it makes sense. In each path, you always have, in the trust route, there's 2 groups of people willing to go with you, but in the betray route, you get locked out of going with that person a second time, I guess. So if we betray Luna in round 1, Luna will not pair with us for round 2, and so on.
Maybe, yeah. But if you look at the Alice one, like, allying with her gets you only 1 route, while betraying gets 2.
I suppose, yeah, it's inverted in her case. Well, anyway, we will get to this in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.